Hello again, fans, and welcome as we get set for another season of Lee basketball. I am Carmen Lastoria, pleased to be joined by Lee women's basketball coach Marty Rowe and Lee men's basketball coach Bubba Smith. It will look a little bit different this year, fellas, but thankfully we are playing basketball. I want to start, Marty, I'll begin with you. Take us through what these last 8 months have been like. I know it's been a whirlwind, but can you briefly summarize based off of March and how all of that ended, and now your feelings as you get ready to play basketball again? Well,
I mean, it's been a long, 9 months, basically since we, played somebody else and saw somebody else on the court. So, it's just been, it's been completely different, obviously, from a preparation standpoint. There's only so much you can do at this point, but our team's done a good job, and they've done everything we've asked them to do, and they've shown up with energy, and they've shown up, with a sense of, just being glad to be on the floor and being able to work and be a group again. And so, I don't know. I mean, it's been weird, but it's at the same time it's been enjoyable, watching them be able to kind of grow in this environment. So. I'm just glad we get a chance to play, hopefully, next week.
Well, it certainly changes your perspective, doesn't it, Bubba, when you think about what basketball can mean to young people and bringing them back together and the excitement in your guys' eyes as you get ready to tip this thing off Saturday.
Yeah, I think, athletics in general, I think with all that's been going on, I think with this pandemic and all the other things, I think in our world today, I think that athletics in general, like getting football started, was really important for I think for teams, for countries, for fans to come together and be able to cheer for something and be unified. And sport is a great unifier. So, I think that to be able to play college basketball, to see games on right now, I think is hopeful. It gives us some hope that games can be played, and we're doing everything we can to get there and get there this weekend.
Now, it certainly will have a different feel. It'll have a different feel in Walker Arena, but we are so grateful to be able to play the game that we love. Coach, you guys are coming in with high expectations. You'll be number one in the East with the mirrored schedule that the GSC is doing, broken down into divisions this year. So you guys will be picked number one preseason in the East. And Haley Schubert, you'll be led by your junior point guard. She was preseason all-conference. I know preseason polls don't mean a whole lot to you, but what does it say about your program that you are once again on the top?
Well, I mean, you have to. They don't mean anything. I mean, obviously, it's going off based on prior accomplishments, but then you take a sense of pride in that. Your peers think enough of you to put you in those spots, and right now there's no last year I felt like last year's team had a lot of pressure on them to perform at a high level. I think everybody's the same this year. I mean, everybody just wants to play. I mean, they just want to compete again, and they just want to do anything. So I think this is as level a playing field as you'll ever see. It's a weird schedule. You're playing people over and over again. But you know what? That's you just control what you can control, and we're looking forward to having that opportunity just to play. So us being number one, having people that we rely on like Haley and Maddie and Hallie and Cam back, and just to name a few, it's a great feeling. I mean, it's we're looking forward to that challenge. Let's put it that way.
And Bubba, what a great year it was for you guys last year. I know you would have loved to compete in the NCAA tournament, but you make the program's first visit there. Also coming off of a great season in the Gulf South Conference, and we saw that reflected in the preseason poll with you guys at number 2 in the East. And Quay Kennedy is back as a junior. He's ready to take that next step, trying to fill some big shoes with the exit of Ryan Montgomery and Parker Sudicum. But you got to be excited about the group you're bringing back.
Yeah, I mean, I think that 2 years ago when the polls came out, I think our guys it really motivated them, because they felt like, and I think we knew that we felt like we were better than what the polls represented. And like Marty said, polls at the preseason don't mean much. So that motivated our guys all season. I think the motivation this year is to not look at that 2 seed, I guess, on our side and think that we're better than we are. And we have a lot to prove, and our guys are really hungry to do that. So, Quay's, losing Ryan and Parker, those guys were a huge part of these last 3 or 4 years of building something. And then, but you got to have a guy on your team. I think is a difference maker. I think to be in that top of the conference. Ryan was that for us last year. I think Quay's a guy that can do that. But again, we forget that one of our guys, one of our difference makers, Mike McGurk, was not out most of the year last year, and so having him back, I think he steps into that role sometimes even maybe a little bit more that Ryan served for us as far as physicality, athleticism, and a physical guard that can score at the rim. So, our guys are excited to play too. I mean, we just want to get to this weekend and hopefully get there. And it takes two teams to be able to, to show up and be healthy and to play. So we're looking forward to it. And I think every day we can play and practice, it's a gift. It really is. And we're grateful for it.
Now, you referenced it there, but you talk about, and I'll get you guys out of here on this, the season is going to be so much different than we are accustomed to. Masking, testing, the protocols that are in place, obviously all in place to protect our student athletes and our personnel and our fans. But how do you block out the noise and the differences and just the wacky schedule? How do you stay focused on playing basketball?
Well, I mean, I think Bubba just said it. I mean, basketball is such a privilege. It is, and you see how quickly things, I think people kind of tend to forget that, okay, that we have, I'm very fortunate to be where I'm at, he is, we all are working at a school that cares about their students and cares about their student athletes the way our school does. And so, getting a chance to play is such an unbelievable gift this year. I mean, there's a lot of times that we didn't know what was going to happen. And so, there's the, no matter how different it is, it's still basketball. It's still the game we all love to play and coach, whether you got a mask on, where you got to set 6 feet apart, where you're playing the same teams over and over. Man, who cares? We can't control that. What we control is, how we approach it. And that's what I would say about our team and his team, watching them prepare. It's just been a joy to be a part of it. And so it's going to look different, but it's still basketball, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's I think we forget sometimes that we've been navigating this since last March, right? Mm-hmm. And so, a huge credit to, I think, our students at Lee, our faculty, our staff, our administration, our student athletes that, we have been asking them to adapt, be flexible. This can happen, this may not happen. And so this has been going on for a while. I mean, our kids are basically have used to getting to this is what we're going to do tomorrow. Hey, this is going to change. And so, I mean, their ability to be flexible, to adapt, there's so many great lessons, I think, to learn in this whole thing that we've been through as a country. So, yeah, I mean, whatever happens, happens. Our guys are excited to be playing today, tomorrow, and then if something changes, then they'll adapt, and they've been great so far.
Well, it's been a long 8 months. That's an understatement, but we are ready to play the games. You guys have done a great job getting your ladies and your guys ready to play, and the men will tip off on Saturday at West Florida at 4 o'clock. Make sure to keep it locked into @LeeU Flames for all the latest updates. The women will open up at home, Walker Arena, on Monday at 3 p.m. Gentlemen, best of luck this year, and we're just so thankful that you guys are going to be able to play, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, Corbin.